This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Today we're going to be talking about a very interesting subject. And I think about that because of some of the things that I've experienced lately, both with miniatures and without miniatures. Okay? The question that I really want to pose to you guys, and I hope that you guys will either email me at novaprime860@hotmail.com or post in the comments below, is do miniatures give games a free pass in a way? You know, especially with all the Kickstarters and things that you're seeing and some of the games that are coming out, it seems that people are buying the games more for the miniatures. Now listen, I have no problems with miniatures because, after all, this channel is 33% a miniatures channel where we take and we paint and we do all kinds of different things with all kinds of different miniatures. There's no doubt about my passion for miniatures. But I wonder, when you see so many Kickstarters that they introduce and they show off all these miniatures and all these different things, and you really don't know too much about the gameplay. It's like, wow, this game looks fantastic. It has beautiful miniatures. That's the first thing out of a lot of people's mouths. And I think the gameplay gets lost sometimes, or sometimes it gets overlooked, because you finally get the game. Yeah, you get those beautiful miniatures, but there's not too much substance in a lot of the games. Now, I'm not going to go mentioning any games. I'm not that type of person to kind of stir that kind of pot. Okay, but there have been some games that have come out that have had beautiful miniatures, and then 20 minutes later they are completely forgotten because the gameplay just isn't there. It's not translatable in some instance, and sometimes even it's so bad and so broken that people just want to either paint the miniatures or use the miniatures for something else. And I've heard people fund Kickstarters saying, well, I just want to use the miniatures for this game or that game, and forget about that game. I heard the game wasn't good, but I want it for this. And now that you see almost so many games come out now and come out with miniatures, does it make designers lazy in a way? Now, I'm not saying that people are lazy or anything like that. There's no insinuation, and I'm not pointing to anybody, but it's a question that has to be posed. Do miniatures sell the game, or does the game sell the game? But for me, it seems lately that more the miniatures are selling the game instead of the fundamental of just building a fantastic game and then adding miniatures to it. I think a lot of times a lot of this stuff gets lost in just adding miniatures. And a lot of times they're not needed. I think sometimes standees are just as good and more affordable. Remember, miniatures jack up the price of a game immensely. And sometimes I think a lot of you guys, you know, it's fine to play with gray plastic, but you would also like to have those things painted. And it becomes a level, oh, geez, you know, I have this game, I really enjoy it. On another hand, somebody might really enjoy a game, but boy, it'll really look nice if I paint it. And it becomes an added burden where maybe some standees would bring the cost of the game down and make it more accessible to everyone. I really feel that we're going through a change here where that it seems that there are more games with more miniatures, and you're seeing more tabletop type of RPGs, and adding miniatures sells games and sells Kickstarters, and that's the bottom line. Not so much the rules, because then that takes, you know, a lot of effort to really get your rules apart. What makes you stand apart? What makes your rules better than anybody else's rules? But boy, if you put some fantastic looking miniatures in it, the rules kind of almost get left behind a little bit. Not for everybody, but for a majority of people. How much would you think that equates in a Kickstarter? If you had a Kickstarter with the same type of game, okay, with the same type of rules, decent rules, or okay rules, and then one did not have miniatures and one had the miniatures, how much would it make on Kickstarter? Would this one make like 250,000, where this one would make 750,000 because of the miniatures? Or does it, or would you see it more because I really like the gameplay, but I don't need the miniatures? I don't think. I think it's this way. And it may be even more than that. What if the game is just kind of mediocre or not that good? Okay, does it not fun because it doesn't have miniatures, or does it fun because it has unbelievable, gorgeous miniatures? It's a question that I ask and I wonder, and it's a direction that I'm really wondering, is this the way that we are headed? Is this the way that things are going? I guess there's only one thing to do, is pose that question to you guys and see what you guys think, and, you know, open it up to discussion. Well, until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon with our next interesting subject.